So if you want to go ahead, then Tina, you can.
I think I'm gonna stick with a Canis and a Gumshoe.
Okay. Esper, do you mind filling in so that I don't talk to myself?
Yeah, no problem. So it
Alright.
was you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? I had me a guard's uniform, hole dug up, and a plan in place. So I went for it on the day you found the guy. But then this little guy just had to come right after me. The sack of fur was covered in mud, too. Had to go back to our cell. Ah! I would have gotten away with it if somebody hadn't knocked Knight and brought you bums down here.
You claim to have dug that tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it?
How? Used everything I could get my hands on, see? Hammers, spoons, you name it. Spent every dime I had on this cockamamie fixer. What do I got to show for it now, huh?
Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow is another day.
There's an outside chance Mr. Casarato and Knight met face to face just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. I can't remember what we're trying to prove. Are we trying to prove that they knew each other? I don't know.
I think so.
Oh, actually, I do want to press how long. Because I want to know how long it's been there.
Yeah.
So the tunnel was all your own work?
Every inch. You see anybody else in my cell when you was there,
That's quite an effort, even for an athlete.
Yeah, now that I think of it, that is an insane amount of digging for one guy.
Yeah, well, you don't even know the half of it, kid. But it ain't like I had a choice. Trust nobody and don't get caught. Them's the rules a con's gotta live by.
Huh. You know, the rules of being a great thief are pretty similar.
Okay, I'd rather you didn't start sympathizing with the suspect.
I was just joking, Mr. Edgeworth.
It ain't no stinking joke to me. You punk so me.
Okay, well that was dumb. Okay, day you found the guy. Press that, cause it was black? I don't know. You didn't consider trying to escape with Teddy?
What if I coulda? But all that mud would have given us away. Chances to break out of the slammer don't exactly grow on trees, pal. When one comes along, you gotta do it right.
Foiled by the one who loves him most. It's almost tragic. There's an okay. Okay. There was the third statement. That one. The uniform, was that from the fixer too?
Uh-huh, sure was. Heard he had something on one of the guards. Had the guy swipe it from a pal's locker.
And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel?
Nope, would've got dirt on it. Had to hold on to it till I got to the holding cell. But once I was out of there and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, I thinks. Freedom beckons. And then the furball here jumps up at me.
Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony. Alright, well we got something.
Yeah.
Should have been a piece of cake. Opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake, you say?
Sure. Anything seems easy after dragging yourself through a hole in the ground.
And you were familiar with the layout of the detention center, even though you live in the prison?
Exclamation point. Why wouldn't I be? It ain't like I've never been there before.
I'm good, Reen. How are you? Welcome back. If he's familiar with the detention center, then he'd surely be aware that unlike the doors in the main prison, the holding cell doors are locked with actual keys. And I'm sure Mr. Casarato would have needed that particular piece of evidence to make his escape. Hint, hint. Okay. I guess it's because of the keys? Because we still haven't found them. Because they're trying to say that Knight has them. But I think we're trying to insinuate that Mr. Casarato has them.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think so.
I'm gonna save.
Yeah, please do.
But I think that's what we're trying to insinuate. Hey!
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. He's like, nuh-uh.
You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it.
Yeah, you got a problem with that? Because we can make it a problem if you catch my drift.
Even once you had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly did you plan on opening it? Mr. Casarato, I posit that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key. Is this pursuit?
Think so.
I don't got no stinking key. I didn't need one. It was a piece of cake because the door was open. I walked right out.
Oh, that's false.
Objection!
Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you finally succeeded today, it truly was unlocked because it was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously.
Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried and failed because Teddy caught you.
Which was during the circus performance before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at the time because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would have not been possible.
Ugh. Glarg.
Also, Esper, when the best shows up, are you cool with me, like, filling in as him?
Oh, yeah, go
Alright,
for it.
sweet.
His voice was actually really funny for him.
Yeah, I gave him the best voice. You'll see.
Are you saying, could he really have... I believe he could have, yes. The theft of the keys was in fact perpetrated by none other than Mr. Casarato. He's the one who attacked the guard. But not just the guard, Knight too, all to gain possession of the guard's keys.
It wasn't me, you lousy bum. I didn't even know this Knight guy.
After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape, a moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right, the moment of the show, just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend.
It says who, huh? You got proof, genius? This ain't your win yet, nuh-uh.
I have footage
you mean,
on a
nuh-uh?
video.
Knight knocked the guard out for the count and everybody knows it.
Don't play games with me. Knight was as much a victim in this as the guard in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell. I think it's because there's the scratch on his head. Oh, well.
That proves it?
Indeed, it does.
Yes, I think I see it. Very, victim-y. Very victim-y indeed.
Mr. Edgeworth, this piece of evidence is utterly meaningless.
Really? Yeah. That's what I meant to say. I hope I'm getting paid for this.
If only she weren't here. I thought we found that he was scuffed. Okay. What did we find? Uh...
Huh.
Oh,
This is confusing the shit out of me, too.
I think I know what it is.
Because, see, I would have thought it would have been, like, the fact that he had a blow to the head. Like, the small cut.
Yeah.
Is it the rope? Proof he'd been attacked in his cell. Is it the blood on the floor?
No, we had already presented that.
But that was different. We were trying to... Because we were trying to say that the dog wiped up the blood. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore.
Yeah, but the blood is still confirmed as Knight's.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I think it's the white floor.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this time so we don't lose any more HP.
Yeah, please.
Go back. Oh, I can't go back. I can't go back.
Dang it.
Well, whatever. Okay, it was.
We got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sick.
We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him. You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys.
He's punching himself.
Yep.
Why, I oughta... What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found that.
Okay, but why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway?
If they checked Knight in the guard's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows. For that blood to give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they started sniffing around on the floor, they'd have found the tunnel in a heartbeat.
So you wiped up the blood to buy yourself a little more time, so you could wait for a better opportunity. Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys. Oh, we got him! We got him!
Right in the kisser.
We win! Yay!
Woo! We did it! I think.
Yeah.
Ugh. KO'd by a lousy, stinking bum. Fine. You want the keys? Here. I hope you choke on them.
Thank you.
Choke on your own spit, too, Mr. Carcerato.
Oh! Wait a moment. If Mr. Carcerato here had the keys. Indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that that theory cannot possibly be true. Aye! No! Guess that changes things up a bit, yeah? Now the only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel.
No! You gotta be freaking...
Mr. Carcerato, you're under arrest. Now come quietly, pal.
Wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. Alright, fine. I knocked those two chumps out, and I stole the keys. But after that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around. And I mean nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think I just magicked my way in there or something? I couldn't even have gotten out of my cell.
Indeed, you only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Canis's dog could.
What?
It was not you, but Helmut who moved the body from your cell to the workshop. I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy. Indeed, one can easily imagine that Mr. Carcerato and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Carcerato could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell.
And then, Mr. Canis's dog took him from there to the workshop.
There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There is only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Casarato.
Hold it. How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of them and you just don't know.
Oh, something tells me that digging in a single tunnel was arduous enough.
You got that right. You try scraping more than one hole in the dirt with a spoon. Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me.
Oh. What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself? You lied to me?
Yeah, and I met you more than 5 minutes ago.
I was
What do
gonna
you
say,
think
how
about
could
that?
you lie? We just met today!
Like, come on, man. First you, and now the president?
Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell.
Oh.
Ran all the way from there to the well in the yard already. Even looked down the well to check it from there. It's the same tunnel, alright. I just made good on what somebody else already started.
Then what was the original tunnel for?
Who knows? You're the one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out.
Ooh, or maybe the animals dug it. Like, to get water from the well or something?
I've heard of more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay.
Well's dry, kid. Ain't no water to be had down there. Though, come to think of it, the smell. Yeah, always smelled kinda nice down there.
Nice?
What do you mean by that?
Gee, I don't know. Smelled sorta like dessert, I guess.
Just desserts? A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Oh, like cake. Where did we come across a scent before? It was the cake. It was the cake.
We don't have a cake.
It was the cake in the cell, but I don't remember. Which thing talks about the cake?
Maybe it had something to do with Gumshoe's dog.
I don't
Because-
know if we can present. Yeah, they don't exist. That's the chest. Because I remember it's because the smell of cake led them to this guy's cell.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chisel. But I don't quite know which item would get us there. Oh, sweet scent can be detected on his body. There it
Yeah.
is. There it is. There it is. I feel like this is correct. This is the only thing that talks about scent, so I feel like this has to be correct. Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. It was kind of weird. I thought he was a zombie. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route back to the prison. And that, Mr. Casarato, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be where you notice coming... be what you notice coming from the well?
Exclamation point.
Yeah. Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel? I do. Furthermore, Mr. Casarato, you are the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access.
Not again.
You have our thanks, Mr. Casarato. Truly. Finally the truth comes into view. Now, unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident.
What? You ain't been in this on me.
I'm glad to see you're finally in agreement, Your Honor. She's like,
Many
oh,
dots.
what? Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. If only someone loved you. What was that line that Hans? Yeah.
But
Well-
wait, what if it was that guy, though?
Mr. Cosserato may not have been an accomplice. May have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight. What do you mean? I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole.
You gotta be kidding me.
Why would he do that in the first place?
Exactly.
Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Cosserato had reached a certain agreement? What kind of agreement exactly? Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was the precise means in the form of the keys Mr. Cosserato had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Cosserato himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Cosserato's plan would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal.
Well, lady, the only striking I do is with my fists.
Shut up, I'm trying to keep you from being incarcerated. My, still you deny it? So, we're agreeing that we still disagree? Mr. Knight had Mr. Cosserato unlock his cell so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. But Saint doesn't know. I don't know which man. Mr. Saint was then able to move him into the prison proper just as planned.
Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed.
Were neither of you listening? The scent on Knight's body proves he was taken through the tunnel. It was moved from his cell to the...
Not again, bro.
Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel. Then what are you driving at?
Is that a trick question?
As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell.
Huh? Then how did it get down there?
Hell if I know.
Sorry, there's another possibility. One you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there?
The well in the yard. Oh, yeah, that thing!
Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop. He took it outside. There he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well in front of
What?
everybody. It was during the show. Behind the stage, I guess? Mr. Canis' dog then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. So they were all, like, in cahoots? Is that what she's trying to say?
They were all crazy.
She's crazy. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery?
The circus show, right? Regina and Simon were performing for everyone. Wait, Simon! Ah!
Ah!
Ah, real monsters.
Ah, indeed. And so you see how it must have also... Wait. How it must also have been him who disposed of the body. Judge Gavel is a truly formidable opponent, even though her logic doesn't really make sense. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts. I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we've established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well, I'm sure you will agree. Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that night's body was indeed thrown down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time. My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have. What? Mr. Carcerado was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Mr. Carcerado, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there?
No. Place was clean.
Gnurk.
Gnurk.
If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Carcerado would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing.
What exactly does this prove?
It was in the workshop. I don't understand. Which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. About going through the tunnel, I guess. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop, but there was no, like, damage.
There's no definitive proof, woman.
At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? Nagoo!
What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? I can't even follow that logic.
I can't either. Kay, you're as confused as I am.
I'm also just as confused, sir.
If the body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well, things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still, Your Honor, your theory is still just that. A game theory.
I was just going to say that.
Haha. And I posit that you lack evidence to back it up. She's like, okay, yes, I do, but I don't care. I can see that for the moment. I do not. But do I care? No. May I suggest that we investigate the yard again? Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you. Now then, to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What's that sound? Oh.
Esper?
Oh no!
Internet. Ouch.
No, internet! Internet murdered Kay!
It
was
second degree internet murder.
It was the evidence is right here. It was the internet. Oh no.
The internet caused the fire.
For now, I will take over.
Hold on,
Oh.
Esper's still typing.
Or are they? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, she said if any of my characters
Yeah.
are on screen, please continue.
Okay. Yikes! Is there a fire?
Did somebody else escape?
Should we maybe skip town too?
What?
Darlings, please! There's nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean that's not an alarm. It's the dinner bell. Although I suppose it's rather alarming if you aren't used to it. It certainly scared the heck out of me. I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. I hope you can forgive us. All right, you two. Back to your post. Chop chop! And as for you, Rocco Carcerato, it's time you went back to your room. Ugh, fine, I get the picture. Come on, Teddy. We're out of here. Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now. Oh, darlings, don't you have homes of your own to go to? No, in fact, I am actually homeless. Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow? No, it's imperative that we investigate it right away. I think we've had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees, so eventful. It's time our guests went home to Betty Pies, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. Ugh. Come on now, darling. Don't make me bore you with all that I'm the warden, this is an order nonsense. Oh, Clavel? Warden Lagarde is right. Oh, she's gonna tamper with the evidence. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait. I bid you all good day. Oh, cute bow.
I still don't trust her.
What are you waiting for, kittykins? Off you go. Fine, at least there is a tomorrow for me. That's a little dark, Edgeworth.
That's implying something else.
Judge Gavel believes the knight's body was dropped down the well. That kind of rhymed. And then taken through Mr. Cosarato's cell to the workshop. But is it truly that the case? Do the facts really support her theory? She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simon. I know we will. Yes, we will. I will prove that Mr. Saint is innocent, beyond a shadow of a doubt. To be continued.
Oh my god. No. Oh my god.
Oh, you're
Esther.
back. Welcome.
Hi.
What is with the internet?
I don't. It like started an hour before the stream, and I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
keep doing that, and it keeps doing that.
Oh.
So I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. Oh, man. I'm very sleepy. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Okay. I fixed it. I got too many cords. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although that might be easier said than done.
There's nothing left to investigate.
We haven't actually looked in the well. Judge Gavel's deduction yesterday. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. But before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. What do you mean unnecessary? Some of it may still be necessary.
Let's see here. Huh. There's a cover on it.
A dried up well slap bang in the middle of a prison? Figures it'd be locked.
Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff?
For once, yes. I think not. Forget what I just said. We'll do this investigation by the book.
Come on, don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa,
What is it, Kay?
the lock's broken. And from the looks of it, it's been broken for a long time.
If that's the case, then anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Judge Gavel's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard, and then, during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What are you thinking, Mauseroni? Plausible or no?
Oh, why don't we see if Missile can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here, and which way it went.
Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe. Doodle-doodle-boop.
Oh boy, here we go
I'm
again.
on speed dial.
Gumshoe speaking.
Detective, I need your assistance. Actually, can you get your brother on the line? I'd rather he come out.
I'm gonna have to put you on hold, sir.
No, how dare you? Dock your pay. Come to the prison yard and bring Missile with you. I don't care if you... I don't care if you come. Just bring Missile. Just bring Missile. Forget you.
Okay. Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons to the rescue again, huh? And what about my pay?
You have 3 at best. I'm fairly sure Missile belongs to the precinct. I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Berry Big Circus and ask Miss Regina Berry to come down here with you.
Yes, sir. I'll be there before you know it. As long as I get my pay.
You get paid in candy.
Damn it.
So, what shall we do while we wait for Gummy?
Eat cookies.
Good. How about a quick game of hide and go seek?
Winner gets a cookie.
Fun idea, kiddo, but where exactly would we hide? He's not seriously considering it. Your game can wait, Kay. We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one.
Oh, you bet I do. One crime scene recreation coming up right up.
Say what now?
Let me show you. Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon. A little thief.
Oh, she's got flip phone. Whoa! Screens appearing from thin air? This is some next level tech, little sis. Wanna talk me through the deets? What are you doing now?
I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation.
Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time based on the data you feed it.
How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday?
Good idea. That was when we were in the middle of tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something.
Leave it to me. I'll use the photo I took. Beepity beep boop beep.
I like how she's making the noise.
Yeah.
That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max and... Dark skies of evening. When no other bird dares to take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real, modern-day Robin Hood!
What?
Ooh, magical girl transformation. Yipes! What is this?
It's a recreation of how things were yesterday, modeled on the data I gave Little Thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu. But they used it to plan robberies.
Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now.
Oh, but keep in mind that it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for, and if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too.
But this particular recreation is based on Kay's photos, so we shouldn't run into problems. That's enough preamble. Shall we get started? Alright.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation, just like in real life.
But what happens if you die? Do you also die in real life?
Well, if you die in the game, you die for real.
Oh no!
No!
You can also present evidence to try and clear up any inconsistencies you find.
Of course. Thank you for the reminder, even though I didn't ask for it. Now, let's take a look at that well. Looks the same. Rope. There's a sturdy-looking hemp rope lying on the ground.
Kinda reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug-of-war in school.
Was there a stake in there too? Like, did you like stab children? Like, why was... The answer is no, Kay.
What? I didn't even say anything! Yeah, it's...
I see it also has a metal stake attached to one end. That's a crucial component to tug-of-war.
Oh yeah, it's called hardcore tug-of-war. You wouldn't get it.
No, I guess I wouldn't. Kids these days with their stakes and their ropes and...
It looks like something you'd use to put up a tent.
But there was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? Pulleys. What are a bunch of pulleys doing here? They don't seem to be well pulleys for lifting buckets. It's a metal weight of some kind. It looks like it weighs... the projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay? Do you remember?
I got you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least 5? Yeah, it was 30.
Good job.
Here's a cookie.
Here's another cookie.
It's like Blue's Clues. Anytime
Right.
we do something good, we get rewarded.
By Edgeworth, his endless bag of cookies.
What does anyone need such a heavy weight for, anyway?
It doesn't seem related to the circus show at any rate. Lock. The well was behind the stage, which means there aren't any people who could have thrown Knight's body down it during the show. This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint. I can't look at the lock? Oh.
So, what do you think all the stuff around the well was used for? I can't see any of the animals needing them for their part of the performance.
Indeed. Nothing immediately strikes me as a likely purpose. Well, we'll have to ask Miss Barry later. Wee.
Yeah.
Wee.
Look at this run.
What was the name of our trunk happy friend again?
Ziza the Asian elephant.
Of course. How could I forget? Here's a piece of candy.
Oh boy!
Those are like your two dads. Not exactly inspired though, is it? Was Miss Barry having an off day when she came up with it?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Edgeworth! Not in front of the poor elephant herself!
Okay, this is a recreation. The elephant is no longer here. I suspect that's about all there is to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon, too. Okay, you can power down, Mr. Thief, now. Wow, I must have, like, really specifically looked at the things it cared about.
Sure thing. Prepare to return to normality.
I wanted to look at other stuff. I didn't know the elephant was, like, the key to stopping the... Welp, I guess that's all that matters. I think this is me. Sorry, sir. I came as quick as I could. Oh, it's you.
It is, okay. Yay!
Speak of the devil.
Ah, detective. That was indeed impressively quick. Ooh, dog mad.
Ooh.
Why is Missile, what are you angry about this time? You know me, sir. Never did like to keep you waiting. Sorry.
That's okay. You
Missile,
kept me waiting on
get
that
over here and
response.
calm down.
Thanks for coming all this way too, Regina.
No problem. This seemed way more fun than rehearsal, so I ditched them for the day. Ooh, cute! It's very much appreciated. That was a cute bow. All right, detective. Let's get started with Missile.
Yes, sir. Hey, Missile, over here, boy. Here, boy. What's the matter? Come on, boy. Come on.
The guy get his face bitten off. What's wrong with him?
Looks like he's scared of something, sir.
I mean, there is an alligator in the pond over there, so... Oh!
Speak of the devil.
I like how Discord just makes your eeks disappear. all I
Discord might.
all I heard was eat. Alligator.
Guess he's not a fan, sir.
Well, I doubt he'll be much of help to us like this. Any other bright ideas, Mazzaroni? Or Mazzarino? Yes, actually. Miss Barry, would you mind lending us a hand? Ooh, I'd love to. Just tell me what you need. Do you want me to teach Allie some tricks? I don't doubt she could do that, but... Nothing quite like that. I'd simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show.
I like where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right?
No. Why would I have you put it away and then immediately have you put it back up? Oh, apparently yes, if you'd be so kind. I don't know why I asked you to put it away.
Okay, I've plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation.
She's like a magical girl. Wow, there's tigers now.
Whoa.
Here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show.
The time at which the body was purported to have been thrown down the well. Oh wow, this is so amazing! It's like magic!
No magic here, just sweet, sweet data. Which is why,
Oh. The area behind the stage is missing.
Yeah, Regina's such involved in getting the stage set up. So we don't have any data on what it was like back there.
No data? No simulation, huh? Brutal. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simon do everything by himself. Oh, no. It's all my frilly associate's fault. Objection, Shields.
Anyway, we've got a fresh simulation now, but we still have the other data too. I can switch back whenever you want to the recreation of them taking down the stage.
Are you good, Kay?
Yeah, I just need my cookies. That's all I need.
Oh, you have to earn them. I'm sorry. So we can examine the scene both during and after the show, and switch between the two at will. Is that what you said? I'm just clarifying.
Exactly. Yeah. Here's a cookie. It's the one you need.
Perfect. Now then, let's continue our investigation, shall we?
Alright.
All right. It would appear that we're missing some data for this point in time.
Yep, that's about the size of it. You've got to go steal us some data.
I don't steal data, Kay. I use logic and deduction to get what I need.
Well, I'm more of an act first, think later gal.
Please don't add to my workload with your recklessness. I would hate to have to order your arrest.
A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simon up there on that stage, too.
Oh, he was wonderful! The way he flew off that stage. Ah, yes, that scene. Yep. This is all the same.
Yep.
Roughly how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Miss Berry? Let's see. I guess it was around 15 minutes? Just as Judge Cavell said. Isn't it pretty hairy health and safety-wise having an elephant fling a guy off the stage? Not at all. Aziza's very gentle. I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly. Too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off the stage. Not because of Aziza, though. Simon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Isn't that amazing? A trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick? Who, me? Oh no, it was Simon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start. Interesting. Alligator. I don't think this is important. Sorry, I skipped this. It actually is a very funny interaction.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. Let's see. I guess the chairs? The chairs are lined up neatly for the show, though we know there were a few empty seats during the performance.
Huh. Something about this space, the ways the seats are arranged. Reminds me of a karaoke contest I entered as a kid.
You entered a karaoke contest?
I sure did, and I came in second.
Wow.
Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight. One alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's blight.
Tell me
That
you
was
didn't.
my routine.
Tell me you didn't actually sing that. You didn't actually, but that's fine.
I sure did. It was like a spoken word.
It was. It was like a limerick. She did well to take second place, or perhaps stole is more apt. Or is it more she failed to steal first place? I'm overthinking this. There's a basket. The basket was empty in the other recreation.
Oh yeah, but it was definitely empty in the photo I took too.
Oops, sorry. I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier. Oh? That basket's for holding Aziz's food, but on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof! I totally forgot to mention it. Sorry. Disappearing apples. I should take note of this. Regina?
So, do you come to visit the prison often, Regina?
I sure do. I have so many little friends here. It's wonderful. And they're all such sweeties, the old faces and the new. I made a new friend only yesterday. Allie is just the cutest. Cute? The full-grown alligator lurking in the depths of the pond?
Are you sure about that? I can't help worrying you could just walk up and then stop, you know?
Oh, don't be silly. She'd never do anything like that. Especially since she's not doing great. I heard she hasn't been herself since yesterday. I'm so worried about her. You guys are worried too, right? Right?
Yeah, totally. Super worried, right, Mr. Expert?
Yes, super. Don't rope me into this. Should we investigate the alligator? This pond is home to Warden Lagarde's beloved alligator.
And look, those bones must be from her latest meal.
I somewhat doubt an alligator could pick a carcass clean like that. Edgeworth, have you seen alligators?
You think? I got the feeling she was rather ladylike in her own way, actually.
If you say so.
Well, I do. I kinda have a sixth sense for these kind of things.
An interesting talent, though not one I'm particularly envious of. Whimper. Tina? Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry, I was watching hockey.
Oh, no, you're good.
Gumshoe,
Gumshoe, pay attention!
Sir. The poor little guy's scared out of his skin. Sorry, the Red Wings are on.
It's okay, I'm gonna dock your pay again just for that.
God damn it.
I'd hope to have him track that scent again, but that clearly isn't in the cards now.
Whimper.
Whimper. Have I...
Poor Missile. Why do you have to go through this?
I guess I'll just talk to Shields. Oh, maybe the high voltage? The great thief's secret weapon. Color me intrigued, Mauserino. Not exactly by the book stuff, though, yeah? Using great thief doodads in an official investigation? Many dots. Whoa, enough with the death stares, Chief. I'm cool, okay? I can keep a secret. Anything for the truth, am I right? It's possible that vital evidence has already been destroyed. Without Kay's reproduction of the scene, we have no hope of finding it. Hey, relax! Like I said, I'll just zip it and nod politely while you cats do your thing. Thank you. That would be very helpful. I guess maybe the door, yeah.
Now that's one impressive fence. I'm sure I could climb it if I...
Please don't. It's electrified.
I wonder what's on the other side.
The warden office, I believe. Oh,
I guess she likes to keep a close eye on her pets.
this facility would probably function better as a zoo than a prison. I have investigated all of the things. Gumshoe?
What? Don't say a word, sir. I just know what you're looking for. It's written all over your face, and totally not with Sharpie.
It is?
Yeah, Missile may be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it.
I mean,
Just be careful not to break it.
actually, there's a well, so... Oh,
I mean, yeah. Oh, and if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I have that, too.
Thanks, bud. I've never seen him so excited. I'll be sure to let you know if I need either of them, Detective. Can I use the metal
Alrighty then,
detector?
just don't dock my pay anymore, okay?
I have interacted with everything. Can I guess maybe switch? Yeah?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I want to switch.
Alright. Want me to change the recreation?
Yes, yes, please.
Here you go. This is how things looked when they were taking down the stage.
The game move. This door appears to be locked. Oh, this is all the same. Oh, that's one thing I meant to do. I meant to... Unable to speed through unread text. I was trying to see if I could like make make the text go faster, but I can't. I will look at the stage, I guess. Yes, this is where the circus stage stood.
You think people would be interested in a great thieving show?
I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend. There's nothing else for me to look at. That's what I was saying. These chairs must have been for the audience.
Wow. I pity whoever had to put them all away.
Really? Why?
You clearly never had to fold up a bunch of boring chairs before, huh?
I mean, no, not very often. Not personally. I've told other people to do it, though.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. You gotta roll up your sleeves and help out once in a while.
I'm too rich for that. Don't you see my little ascot? Cravat? Whatever they called it. Gnurk, I'll consider it. How do I use the metal detector?
It might be the logic setting.
Maybe, oh, maybe I should logic things. I keep forgetting to logic. Okay,
Keep forgetting to deduce.
I feel like this is accurate.
Oh, okay.
The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene. Could it have something to do with the items we found by the well? Taking another look at these items, could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's?
Sounds plausible enough. Hey, maybe I could add it to the simulation.
Good idea. Please go and ask Mr. Saint for the details.
Roger that. I'll be right back.
Waits. Farewell. Oh,
Huh? I'm back. And he told me exactly how he did it.
excellent. Well, how does it work?
He said he used the pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope. And lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through two more... and was tied around his body.
I see. So he used the downward pull of the rope, of the weight, to help him launch himself into the air. But how did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted to?
He used a stake to stop it, that's how.
Miss Barry didn't seem to know anything about the trick or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake.
That's right. And to do that, he used a second length of rope.
Couldn't he just train the monkey to do it?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
He tied it to the stake, and then, when he gave it a sharp tug,
This stick was released and the weight dropped down the well.
It's a great trick. I have to steal it. This one
Why,
has
though?
to go in the just for fun stuff, just for thieving. You know how it be.
I thought you were on sabbatical.
I can get ideas, that's how it be. This one has to go in the Great Thief's repertoire.
It may not be quite that easy. These kinds of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough.
Alright, practice it is then.
Well, before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation?
We can see how it all worked out, how it all worked for ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to the recreation of the performance. Oh, I love that animation.
Mm-hmm.
And now, to add in the data. Little Thief should be able to reproduce the trick now.
Oh. So this is how Mr. Saint performed this trick.
Simon's full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a weight down a well to help him fly off the stage like that's genius.
Indeed, but I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him, at the very least. It would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that, like a body.
Yeah, and probably a ton of practice.
Mr. Saint used the well to construct a contraption that sent him flying from the stage. It made clever use of 2 ropes. Okay, This tarp is just like the one we saw in the workshop.
This tarp, it's just like the one we saw in the workshop.
What? Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Well, you didn't even say it aloud!
Yes.
You owe me a cookie.
But why is it here?
But why is it here?
Stop listening to my thoughts, Kay.
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You've gone kind of blank, like many dots mode.
And I intend to stay blank until you stop stealing my thoughts.
That's one heavy weight. Kinda makes you think how much this must all be weighing on Simon.
Kay, where did you get
deducting
there?
Your cookie, Kay.
It does. I'm not sure I quite see it myself. Also, Kay, would you mind reminding me how much that weighs?
Oh, it's too bad we don't have the real thing here. What a shame. Otherwise, I'd hang it around your neck like a big old albatross. Then we'll see how you like it.
I don't get that reference, but okay. You'd face some stiff resistance if you tried, I can promise you that. I've talked at everything. Can I logic again, I guess?
I think so.
I don't think this is correct. But I'm gonna try. It's the only thing that makes sense. Okay.
Alright.
Wait, doesn't this seem odd to you?
No. That my pay is going down?
Oh. You haven't noticed, Detective? There's something strange about the weight we found. Is it the okay. Is it that there's only one because each one is only worth 30? Cuz the thing about this is that obviously we're saying that the weight is wrong. But this could also be correct because if we had more than the 130-pound weight, then he could use it.
Yeah.
If there was more than one, though, how would, like, they tie the rope?
That's what
Or,
I'm
like,
saying,
strong?
too.
So then are we asking how heavy it is?
Probably.
Or are we
That's what I'd go with.
Okay. The
Yeah.
one weight on its own wouldn't have been heavy enough. See, the thing is, I feel like either of those answers could have worked. And they might have. But, yeah. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground.
Gumshoe.
Gumshoe?
Oh, Gumshoe, that's me. Sorry, hockey. Oh, yeah, sorry, hockey.
Gumshoe, you're getting very close to being fired. In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing?
Sounds like a job for my seven secret weapons, sir.
Should the need to use them arise, I suppose I could speak with him then. Good thing he's right here. Hello.
Don't say a word. Oh, okay.
This is the same. I need, oh.
Because of the alligator.
I don't want to talk to you.
Missiles out of commission.
I am supposed to be able to ask him for... Do I need to get out of the creation?
Probably.
I don't think we can get out of it.
Blah 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 blah
Blah, 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 blah.
blah 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 blah.
Wubba dubba 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 wubba dubba
Yes,
dubba
yes,
dubba.
yes. We understand. Yes. It wants me to speak with him, but when I asked him, he didn't do anything. Yeah. Thank you, Kay.
You want another cookie?
Yeah, I like my cookies.
I want to talk with you.
What kind of cookies would Kay even like?
Kay, go
anyway?
away. I want to talk with Gumshoe. No!
Oh my god.
Do I need to connect something? Do I need to do that? Fine, I guess. I hate this. Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons. I could have just asked you, but I needed to logic that, I
Yeah,
guess.
you could have just asked me, but I guess logic works. I'll be right on it. I already said my line.
Oh, sorry. The metal detector, if you'd be so kind. I don't need the fishing rod.
Jeez. I'm never gonna get to use my fishing rod.
Aw.
So, before we get... Yeah.
No, you're explaining me how I use my metal detector. I
Oh
don't
my
know
God,
how...
I'm so
I don't
dumb.
know how to use it.
Okay, uses this sound. And this gauge, I guess if you want to call it that, to tell you how close you are to something made of metal. The closer you get, the more strongly it'll react. When it starts going wild like this, just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Say, what do we got there? Oh, the fence. Anyway, that's how it all works. You tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on it.
Thank you, Gumshoe. Oh, I'm Gumshoe!
Oh my god, you're me!
Whee! Oh.
Right there. Yep.
What'd you find, Gumshoe? I don't see anything metallic. What did the detector pick up?
Guess it must have just picked up some iron sand.
Iron sand, as in sand you can pick up with a magnet?
That's the stuff. You can find it at the beach sometimes. And I got just the thing we need right here. Introducing secret weapon number 6 or 7. I can't count.
I think we were on 4. Are you making this up as you go along?
A seemingly ordinary magnet that I found at the hardware store. Watch this. I just bring it close to the ground and ta-da! It's picking up the iron, I guess. Do I get a cookie now?
No.
Damn it. Come on, little guys. Come to Papa.
Must be nice to be so easily entertained. Regardless, the investigation must continue. Oh,
Must be the rakes.
yeah.
Oh, what the? It's a gold coin, sir. What a find! It'll go down in history.
I don't imagine
Take a picture.
I don't imagine a gold coin would stay hidden long at a prison yard. Oh, he's gonna confiscate it.
Oh, you found it. Never would have guessed it was hiding there this whole time. That's one of the coins from the big coin hunt we hold once every 2 weeks.
This is a fun prison.
Hey, that sounds kinda interesting. Must be fun for the whole family. Sure is. The prisoners have to hunt for the coins the warden buried around the yard, I guess. And if they find 3 silver coins or 1 gold coin, they can swap them for a jelly donut.
Ooh.
Jelly donuts.
First a show, now a treasure hunt. Is this a prison or a playground?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh. Oh.
Wait, huh? Found these little guys in the grass. Oh, more of those 30... wait,
Oh,
Kay, could you remind me how much those weigh?
I think at least 7.
Good.
Close enough.
Oh man. They're the same as the weight we found by the well, which was what again? What, was it 7?
At least, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. They must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide these here on purpose?
I count 4 altogether, sir, so they gotta weigh at least like 90 pounds.
Or maybe 7. You know, anywhere between. They would be more than heavy flying.
I
So
think
they've gotta weigh more than like 7 pounds.
I don't know. That's a very small man. So somebody hid several of the same weights as the one by the well. But why? And why over here?
Yes, nice work, me.
Good
Even
job.
though the player was controlling me.
Good job, Gumshoe. Oh,
Uh-oh. I love how quiet that was on Discord.
Oh no!
Oh my god, I don't know if it's the internet or Discord
it's
itself.
Discord, yeah.
Oh, man. That thing nearly gave me a heart attack, even though I feel like 13. Huh?
What's the matter, detective?
It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator.
Are you insinuating that's a robotic alligator?
Maybe.
What? How?
You're sure it's not responding to the weights we just found?
No, sir. I'm sure this is something different, and I'm sure it's coming from the alligator.
Oh. And she's gone. Why did you laugh, Kay?
You scared that big snapper good.
I don't think that's it, Kay.
Huh? Then what is it?
Allie hasn't been herself lately. That's the name. Allie, the warden's favorite pet. She wouldn't even look at the food Warden Lagarde brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her?
Maybe the metal detector was responding to whatever she ate, sir. Couldn't have been a cookie.
No way. I have all of mine locked and loaded. They're not going to any alligators. What if she ate one of the weights?
I highly doubt that even an alligator could swallow a 30-pound lump of iron.
Oh, so that's how heavy it is.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I just assumed it was 30. It's probably at least 7.
It's gonna be either 4 or 7. I can't count.
So what did the metal detector actually pick up? I need to find that and clip that, like the first delivery of it.
Yeah.
And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment by the well. Okay, I don't know why I asked you to put it away again, but could you recreate the scene once more?
Oh yeah, gotcha. Coming right up.
I don't know why you keep putting it away, but I probably don't put it away until we're actually done.
This will probably take like a week.
Are we... There we go.
And look, there's the ba.
Yeah,
blah,
we
blah, 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 blah.
saw this one, but it was the only one that didn't have a check mark. Interesting. Are we? What am I attempting to logic out?
I have no idea. I'm guessing we're just, wait, maybe the alligator did swallow the weight.
Hey, you remembered. Good job.
We might need to deduce here.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, we don't. With those,
Why do we
they're the
care
only
about
things
that?
We can deduce.
There's nothing else for me to...
Odd.
Because it definitely wants me... It says I need to find something here.
I think it wants us to present evidence on something in this screen.
I guess so.
I can't really present anything, though.
Can you not?
I can examine it.
Huh.
Alright.
What's the button prompt it gives you to, like, on this screen? Like the one up top? Is it
Deduce?
X
It's X.
Oh.
Oh.
I see. I don't know what it wants me to deduce, though.
Maybe the weight, yeah.
Or the rope?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, a contraption that used a very heavy weight, 3 pulleys, and 2 links of rope. I only see 2 pulleys. Right?
So try deducing that? Because
I
when
only
we
see... Because it... I mean, I guess because the other pulley might be on the stage, but... 3 pulleys and 2 links of rope. Because this only has... two
2
pulleys and 1 length of rope. Right? Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna save first.
I need more cheddar fries.
Nope.
Nope. Damn it.
This contraption. If I'm not imagining thing, it's missing something. That's what I said! Is it missing more? Is it missing more weight?
Must be.
A very heavy weight. And
A
2...
very heavy weight.
Yeah, I'm very heavy.
Never
weight.
specifies how many.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Dang it.
Oh,
Man.
I think I might know what it is.
Oh, I thought I lagged out.
No, I just
I thought.
No, I'm just reloading.
Okay.
I'm reloading. What do you think it is with your magical wisdom?
I think the fact there's only 1 rope when the pulley had 2.
Oh.
But
We don't know how. We don't know what to present that with.
That's true. I'm
well,
not
the
sure
only
what
thing I
evidence
could
we
would be
have here.
the contraption itself, right? 2 link,
Yeah.
but that's what I tried with the pulleys because there's only 2 pulleys
Oh.
on the tarp,
Oh.
and it mentions a very heavy weight, and I mean, the rope is the only other thing that I can try to present, so I will try it. Oh, it was the... Ah!
Oh, it was the
Why the rope?
It's scuffed. It doesn't do that for the pulleys either, because it's had 3 pulleys, right?
Right. Think about the two
That's a little
recreations, the one during the performance and the one looking right now. There's a major difference between the two. Namely, that one of the ropes is missing, and also technically there's only 2 pulleys instead of 3, and also the weight is not nearly as heavy as it needs to be, but apparently it was the rope that we care about.
So,
yeah.
a lot of miscalculations here, sir.
No, but only the rope matters. Mr. Saint's trick wouldn't work with only the items we see before us.
So what happened?
Where did the missing rope go? I think one of the pieces of evidence we've collected might tell us exactly that.
Really?
What shows us where the missing rope went? This rope we found beside Knight's body. I think it's the missing rope.
Wait, you mean that's the missing rope?
Yes,
Nah,
it
surely
must have
not.
been the other rope used in the trick.
So you're saying...
What am I saying, Kate?
So you're saying that this is the missing rope?
I mean, I am insinuating it. Yes, that this rope indeed have a weight attached to it. But it wasn't of the iron weights we found, it was a person. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else.
What was it,
Yes.
Mr. Eckert? Come on, I'm dying here.
Think about the rope we found in the workshop was related to. Do that and you'll soon figure out the answer. The weight dropped with a piece of iron and the weight was... I'm assuming a person? Oh, I can't present a person? I guess I'll just present the body. It could only have been Knight's body that was dropped down the well.
What? Mr. Knight's body was the weight?
Yes, somebody first swapped out the weights used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used the contraption to make his exit from the stage. When he let the rope around his body loose, both the rope and Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. That rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden.
So then no one would realize they've been replaced with a body.
But, like, who knows his trick? I wonder, that would be able to... that would know that the body would need to go there.
No.
Precisely. We can then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer. Well there, gang. Wasn't poor old Bronco stabbed in the neck? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere, including down the well? Oh, the killer thought of that, which is why they used this. What did the killer... I'm assuming the tarp? This tarp was found with the blood. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it. Ooh, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming together now. Love it.
But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well. Which means we're helping to prove that Simon was the killer.
But, like, why would he use a body to counter... I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
No, not quite.
But what about what Judge Cavell said yesterday?
Ah, but if Mr. Saint truly is the killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit this crime?
That's true.
That is a good point, yeah.
Knight's body fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraption during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was or what they were doing at the time. It's only designed to throw suspicion onto those who were not at the show.
Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Canis right away, huh?
That was the killer's goal, to make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used the well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Barry, when exactly did Mr. Saint put his contraption together? It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 9 p.m. And I think we finished at around midnight? In which case, the killer must have switched the weights out for the body after that point. But again, it's gotta be someone that knows about the contraption. Did Canis know about this contraption? That's what I was asking. Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much with that. Especially because he's blind. And I highly doubt that he taught his dog to suspend bodies halfway down wells, though I wouldn't put it past him. Which means Canis isn't the killer. Okay. Am I done now? Basket. A wicker basket, or rather a cart given the wheels.
Hey, wouldn't it be fun to hop in and race it down a hill?
Many dots.
Ooh, you know what else would be fun? Racing down a hill on office chairs.
Where did any of that come from? Oh man, I thought he was gonna make a mention to the fact that it was empty. I guess, should I logic the elephant and apples?
I have no idea.
It's gone by the next morning.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I cracked the case, sir. What if the killer was an invisible man?
Yeah, what if, detective?
It's the invisible man!
Go on.
Well, the weapon came out of nowhere, and nobody knows how the body was moved. None of that makes sense until you put an invisible man in the picture.
Detective, don't tell me you think invisible people really exist.
Who knows, sir? But it'd be fun to see one, though, huh?
What a winning idea. Perhaps we should make your assignment to Mr. DeBest permanent from tomorrow.
You gotta be kidding me. That kid still probably believes in Santa Claus.
People in glass houses. Okay,
Wait, that means he's claustrophobic.
What is it, Mr. Blah?
I don't know. I don't know, Kay. Sure.
This one.
Okay, fine. Then don't give me a not checkmarked magnifying glass. I don't know what it wants me to do. I guess I'll just logic apples?
I guess that's what it wants you to do?
Yeah. I
Uh,
can't imagine how relevant the apples are gonna be after this scene, so I feel like they gotta be logicked here, right?
Yeah.
why does the elephant matter?
I have no idea. Let's just try it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. The apples in the basket were likely eaten by an elephant. Wow, I'm so smart! Look at me go! Really? That's strange. I made sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them. Are you sure about that? Oh, yes! It was still full of apples the night before the show. Then we must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Aziza's reach. A large basket full of apples could have been moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason. And then I'm assuming the cart and the body? So before the show had even started, the cart had moved and its apples eaten. Yes, that seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation, Kay.
Will do. I'll add that into the simulation of the performance then.
I still don't know how
I think
this
I
even
think it's
ties in.
I think it's because it helped to move the body.
There, all done.
I am really dumb.
Okay. The basket was moved the night before the circus performance, and we deduced that the weights were switched out for the body at around the same time.
Hard to chalk that up to coincidence, huh?
Then the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door, which would only mean...
That somebody needed to open it.
No.
Now let's see what's... Oh, great. It's locked. Let me ask a guard for help. Hey, Mr. Guard, Gumshoe's brother.
Gumshoe's brother.
Wait, what? Yes, miss, what can I do for you?
That was fast. Guard, where's the key to this door?
Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask her
Oh.
for it.
The warden, I see.
Yes, Mrs. LaGuarde.
Warden,
I say LaGuarde because LaGuardia Airport.
Warden Lagarde is the only one with a key? Meaning if somebody did open the door, they would have had to get it from her somehow.
But why would Simon need to get a hold of the key?
Simon doesn't have to. What we're saying is whoever moved the body would have come through that door.
I'm not saying it is Simon. I'm just saying, like, why would anyone want to, like, access that room?
We'll have to see what's in the room. Look at all these breakers. They must control the electricity for the whole prison. Oh! They could shut off the power, and then the camera timers would be off.
So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What were they trying to do?
Well, I doubt they came in here by mistake thinking it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with the switches.
Did they turn off the power to something?
Did they turned off the power? What'd they do?
Those
They
are
turned
these
off the
guys'
power! That's the second typo. Come to think of it, wasn't there something that lost power? What might have lost power when a breaker flipped? I don't know. There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage.
Oh yeah, there was. So somebody flipped the breaker it was connected to.
It seems very likely.
Do you think it was the killer?
It's true that shutting off the cameras would have made things easier for them.
It would.
Which means the killer would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. And it seems only one person has the key. It couldn't be. Could it? Are we
What are we
finally
talking
done? Ah, we're
All
finally
right, little
done.
thief.
Yay!
The work here is done.
Finally.
Finally.
Turn this shit off.
Yay!
Woo!
Every convoluted thing there was. They're back.
Oh.
Them.
First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm.
Good morning, Mr. DeBest.
What? You? How'd you get here before me? I'm the best.
Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I've seen you've made an early start. And I see you've made a late one, Judge Gavel. This is not in my case. I'm a very busy woman. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of his only current responsibility. Ugh. Oh, I do apologize. That was a sick burn. I meant, of course, an associate attorney.
Associate. More like asinine.
Wow.
Why do I even have permission to say that word?
We'll see about that. Sebastian, let us begin the investigation of the yard.
Okay, I'll go get some officers to help.
You can't have Gumshoe. That won't be necessary.
Well, why not?
We've already finished investigating the yard and won quite the prize in the process.
What? What? Well, I'm supposed to be the best.
It's hard because they try so hard to like make his name work.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday in order to thoroughly disprove it. She looks
Many
so
dots.
patient. I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. As I'm sure you remember, your badge is in my hands.
Yeah, we don't care.
How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already, as if that's the only thing you have
At
over
least
my head.
72 times.
At least 7 times. Perhaps you'd care to try a different threat. You've been warned repeatedly, yes, and each time my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination. The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simon Saint's innocence. Interesting, and spoken like a true defense attorney. You remind me of that man. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice, I will strike down your case without mercy. And when I'm done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this. Get to talk to myself. Yay!
Oh my god, why? Every time with her.
My
Not
theory... No, I understand. My theory remains the same as when I related to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerato did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know that the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. That's still your assertion, and you can prove it, of course.
Many dots. Of course she can! Who do you think you're up against? I'm the best!
What Sebastian means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival. She really is a very busy woman, busy looking after baby de best.
Hey!
That was in my brain, you can't hear my thoughts. That would be really funny, like, that would be hilarious if, like, he thinks he's talking to himself, but he's actually, like, projecting his thoughts and everyone can hear them.
Oh, yeah. That'd be so funny.
The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep. Oh, between 3 and 6 a.m. Simon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well. Where did he store it? Judge Gavelle hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, I think I just might. But, okay, let's see. Where do we need to present it? That doesn't matter. So we kind of proved that actually was true. I'm gonna press this, maybe?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Could nobody else have done it? I understand that Miss Barry was on stage for the entire performance. Most of the prisoners are watching the show, and those who were not have plausible alibis. What about the guards? Oh, this was bad. They too were watching the show, as was the warden. How can you be so sure? A guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed. None of the guards left their posts during the show. I've checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from each and every one of them, and I just met them, so they couldn't have lied to me. She's thorough. She's thorough, I'll give her that. Are you finally ready to accept the truth? Judge Gavelle hasn't carried out a full investigation of the yard yet, which means we got the advantage for a change. I should review the evidence. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, I've only known them for like 5 minutes at this point. They can't be lying.
Right. I think we're supposed to present the contraption?
I think so.
Right? But see, if we use this is technically correct. Because this is saying that the body was dropped. Well, this was saying that it was already attached to a rope. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't dropped down the well. So
No.
I think we're safe to present this.
All right.
Dang it.
Nope.
I know what I want to say, but the game wants me to say it in a very specific way, which I hate. Okay.
I will be right back in like 2 minutes.
No worries. I'm gonna try to figure out how it wants me to say this. I don't think I pressed this statement. Could you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more? The day before the performance, Mr. Knights borrowed the keys from Mr. Carcerado, or more specifically, the key to his cell. Mr. Knight then used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint took Mr. Knight to the yard in the cage, and that's where we killed him. The following day, Mr. Carcerado crawled his way through the tunnel, but there was no body there yet. Wait a second, that doesn't add up. Mr. Carcerado smelled that sweet smell, so Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already. No, his body did not pass through the tunnel in some time after Mr. Carcerado had crawled through it. Mr. Carcerado used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended. From which you deduce that the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show? Yes, and who the culprit must be. I'm just gonna press all the statements. Isn't it possible that Mr. Carcerado simply failed to notice the body? Assistant to the Associate Attorney, you've been through the secret passage, have you not? Whoa, how'd you know? I noticed mud on you yesterday. Only that charming key in your hair, to be precise. Wait. That's incredible. How could I be a great thief? You could be a great thief with eyes like that. Answer me truthfully in the name of the goddess. Would you or would you not have noticed a body had one had been present? Well, I guess I would have. There you have it. Mr. Carcerado did not see a body, which means there was no body there to see. I don't know which, I do not know what it wants me to say. I honestly don't know where I'm supposed to present here. I am at a loss.
I also can't provide much help because I'm just as lost.
Oh, okay. That one, I guess.
Oh, sweet.
That was my second guess, but I was like, I don't know how it matters. Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. Contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant. I do. Just before he was to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weight end down, the well allowed him to complete the trick.
What? Wait! Wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on the stage?
You didn't miss much. It took me a while to, like, figure out what it wanted me to present where. Like, I knew what I needed to present, but I didn't know which statement to present it at.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer, in order to create an alibi. Many dots.
Many dots.
The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right?
I had to figure out who did his voice, because I want to know. Because it would be so cool.
Objection.
Yeah, it would be so cool to, like, hear him actually doing more of his lines.
Mm-hmm. Well then, who do you think is the number one, most likely person to have used it to dispose of the body, Even you must see how it works.
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Gavel theorized, without those extra steps. Miss Berry. Yes? Does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works? Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform, so I don't think Simon's the only one who knows. And there you have it. Interesting. You've certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? Is what I'm doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so? How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you're doing wrong at this very moment? You're a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You're breaking every rule in the book. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I'm confronted with. This is the path I've chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all that I can bring to bear. Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well, if it is her will that we must fight. Then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. Ooh, she's getting serious.
This better be the last one, or so help me God.
It's getting there. So how you typically can tell is the music. So once the music like ramps up to like a fever pitch, then you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So is it like this music almost?
No, we probably got one more after this.
Okay, thank God.
If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simon Saint. And thus, he remains the only plausible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. But why would he do that? Why would he take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells?
Yeah, it is pretty sus.
She actually said it. She said sus.
Pretty sure.
But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else, because he's stupid.
He is kind of stupid.
It may be plausible, but it's no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. Ugh, I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. Why do you say that? You're certain nobody else had the opportunity? Need I remind you that we're in a prison? The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything out of the ordinary would have been spotted. But Mr. Saint was under the same scrutiny, was he not? Ooh. The warden had granted the members of the circus troupe special access. As a member of that troupe, under the supervision of Miss Barry, he is the only person who was free to wander where he willed. It seems you've forgotten something, Your Honor. Ooh!
Come on!
Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth. Very well, then recall this fact, if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who was free to walk around the prison, but there was a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison. A time when it would have been impossible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored. What do I have to show that there was a period of day when the crime was over? Was it because of the show? The roll call? Oh, was it...
It wouldn't be.
Was it because the power?
Esper?
Where oversight was... I think... I think this one,
No.
because we know that they probably turned it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shows there were a period of time where oversight was limited. Right?
I think that might be the best bet. I can.
Oh,
look
wait.
it up if you need to.
No, prisoners are not allowed to move freely between the door. I'm curious if it wants me to present the tape or if it wants me to present... Because at this point, Edgeworth hasn't shared with her that the door, like the power room, is used at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the security camera is a better proof that the lights were power was off, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try it because again, we haven't. Oh wait, no, yeah, period of the day. Yes, I think this is correct. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity.
Which opportunity are we talking about again?
We'd previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours, and from this we can deduce that we must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved through the prison undetected. Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That is no simple camera malfunction. Is that even possible? It was completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using this! Whoops. Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one which could be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder.
What?
She's like, silent rage.
Many dots.
Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark.
Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing.
Well, how does he explain the lock on the power room door? Oh yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key. Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure, so I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily. Here's where I posit an impossible theory. Turnabout time. Ah yeah, turnabout! No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon? That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
What? There's no one like that! breaker to the electric fences in there. They would be questioned in an instant.
There's only one person who meets these criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where their logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was... her. Fifi. The real culprit is... Warden Lagarde.
Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie woochie?
He's not just a pretty face. This also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you.
Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume.
Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death.
You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer.
That is precisely what I'm calling you.
What?
Warden Lagarde is the killer? Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying?
Oh, such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me? I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we?
Yes, ma'am. This is all a murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous. Sadly, it is not, although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is the killer. Is it the Breakers? It's gotta be the Breakers, right? Because that's the only thing that's the only foot we're standing on, right?
Right.
Because we don't have what's inside the alligator. You know, the contraption, we haven't tagged to her yet. The only thing I can think is that this is the Breakers. Dang it! Then what is it? Missile smelled something on Warden Lagarde just now. Whatever it was could be the key to this case.
You're a hoot, Mr. Edgeworth. Really you are. But can we dispense with the jokes now?
This is no joke, Warden. You are the killer.
Oh, really? Well, could you at least try and present some plausible
I
evidence?
can try, but I don't know what I'm supposed to present. Is it because there's a sweet scent?
On the body?
There's nothing else that has a sweet, like, a scent attached to it.
I guess it's gotta be.
I guess
can't
it's...
think of anything else.
Alright. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here's your accuser. The police dog. We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you.
Oh, darling, you're priceless. Really you are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Verity, dear, do put him in his place.
She's like, well, it seems Judge Gavel may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as coincidence. However... Indeed. Then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself. We should. And when we have, this case will finally be at an end.
You're all being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing?
The only thing I remember about her... Yeah, the only thing I remember about her is her, like, breakdown animation, which is great.
Ooh. Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him in there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went into the prison? I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories you little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be the killer.
Give me a break. Mistle doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean.
Oh dear. I'm afraid you are the ones making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go and check the records.
She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a pig silly. You've made a boo-boo and you know it.
Please don't talk to me like that. Alright, so obviously we need to present the fact that the tunnel system...
Yeah.
I'm gonna press this. Do you have any evidence that you didn't enter the prison?
Please, darling, let me finish.
Okay, okay. Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance of the prison, but what if you took another route?
Oh, come now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered. Why, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed.
No, you had another way in, I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. Oh god, the route you took when you went, isn't it just the... Isn't there one, like, through the warden's office into the yard? Right?
I think so?
Because she talked about it. She talked about the fact that she's got a way from her office to the yard.
Yeah, but I don't think...
Ah, dang it.
No.
Where is it?
It is blah blah blah.
Think, Miles. A route from her office that bypasses the prison's entrance and the tunnel. There's one location she must have gone through. The only time Knight's body could have been placed in the well was the night before the show.
Okay, yeah. What's our move, sir?
She seems pretty confident there won't be any record of her entering the prison.
In which case, we'll have to rely on something other than the records to question. We should listen carefully. Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely, but I don't remember where the thing is. Okay, I guess, can I look at my thing? This last one was the one to press. Let me look at...
Maybe it's just the yard instead of the door.
Instead of the door?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's just kind of pedantic like that.
Okay. It does tend to be that way. Aha! Dance!
Cool.
A stupid game. Through the fence. Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happens to be connected to the yard, which I pointed out earlier, but apparently it wasn't correct. If you had a way through the fence, which is where I put the thing, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. Stupid game.
A gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence? The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it.
You have a key and you can turn it off.
Yeah! How's she supposed to have gotten through that,
The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room. And only you had a key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she have even reached the power room?
Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss, you've dug yourself into a real hole now.
Gurk, Yet there's no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper. Then the idea that she could have shut out the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. Ugh, but there must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah? No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone. Mr. Edgeworth, if you cannot find a... Many dots. You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence. That was a reflexive objective. But now that I've yelled it, if I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I'm just doing what Phoenix does. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence. Yes, because it's not implausible as it seems. I'm assuming an accomplice, because we just said she couldn't have done it alone. Right? The time of the murder doesn't matter. I'm assuming it's an accomplice. She couldn't have done it alone. But what if she wasn't alone? Ooh, now we're talking. Way to flex that old gray matter, kiddo. I believe the Warden Lagarde had an accomplice. Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth.
What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong.
Thank you, Gumshoe. The inmates at this prison were all issued with security bracelets. Oh.
Oh, the ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah!
I see that you've realized your error. And we are, of course, within the prison grounds. We're not only the bracelets are worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing. And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Cosarato's escape. The only ones who are free to roam are the animals. And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker. No, so your accomplice must be human. Then who did it, given that it cannot have been a prisoner or guard? I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. And I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was. I am assuming it's him?
I'm sorry.
It wasn't
Any
working.
time she says overruled, it makes my blood boil.
Then you're not gonna like the rest of this game. This is one of the prisoner's bracelets. Indeed, a broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner. What do you mean? And who is this prisoner? Frank saw it. He did. He saw it. Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. Oh.
Many dots.
That's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while? That is pretty funky, and I don't mean in a good way. Oh.
Many dots.
It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others, Bodhiharmacanus, for example. Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation. Humph, in that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sawat himself? I'm confident that he will confirm to us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Don't ask me. Recall that there were two big obstacles in their path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both those obstacles in one fell swoop. By having saw it shut off the corresponding breakers. Oh.
Hold it. All right, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun.
And, do you still deny it, Warden Lagarde?
Sigh. No, darling. You've got me. I admit it.
Oh. Warden? Tell me this isn't true.
Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it.
No way!
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You got her.
Not yet.
Nice shooting, cowboy. She wouldn't be wriggling out of this now.
As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker.
Oh.
But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums. No, we didn't.
What? Warden, explain yourself.
Oh, Verity dear. I doubt your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now.
She is all merciful. You have but to confess and you will be saved.
Oh gosh. All right. I was being threatened.
Oh.
I had no choice but to do as he said.
Who's he?
Many dots. Body harma Canis. That awful assassin.
Canis.
How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh.
the moment we were alone, he said this to me.
Oh.
There you go. I was
okay.
like, Tina?
Okay. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution.
Others?
Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them.
Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies.
I thought he worked alone.
And then he said one last thing.
I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you. Or your precious family.
Ooh.
I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for.
Everything? Wait, is that how he became the fixer?
Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him, too.
So you were smuggling in contraband? How exactly?
Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well on the prison side and went back through the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume.
It's cute perfume. So that's what the sweet smell was. But you said you weren't wearing perfume earlier.
Yes, I lied. I do that sometimes.
How could you?
Yes, it was a symbol for Canis's dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course.
It can't have been easy keeping him from finding out.
You okay?
Just a little upset.
About? Do you want to talk
My
about it, Gum? I was gonna say, do you want to talk about it, Gumshoe?
He's just depressed and shit.
Here, Gumshoe, have a cookie. It's kind of crumbled, but have a cookie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all very much creatures of habit here in the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Cadus's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either.
She has oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Cadus couldn't fail.
Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance.
You have shared a great deal, Warden. The goddess of justice will surely take your honesty into account. But you're still going to jail.
Pooh. I have been the most dreadful fool I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. And so, Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard.
So that's the secret behind the fixer system, and why she was... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get it.
That's why you were interrogating Mr. Cadus over and over.
Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hedge people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote.
His letters? Then I suppose she must know about his correspondence chess games, too.
But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, oh, you just can't comprehend it.
As you've just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The words of Warden Lagarde's confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there's no need to hound her any longer. Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more about her to uncover? There's definitely more! I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think the Goddess of Justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer more than she already has? Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Cadus does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of, and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used the same route to move Knight's body. And where's your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? The contraption, I think? It is in fact that the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal a delivery. Ooh, yeah! For the dog. What do you make of that?
Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now that the whole well probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body.
That does match the statement that Mr. Coserato provided. Blah 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 blah. His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. Ugh. You've been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court.
No! What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
What can I do? Is this as far as we go?
Finally!
Oh my gosh!
So we're actually done?
Yes, Sebastian, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Now! Hold it!
So we failed.
Oh?
Who was that?
Yo!
Come on, Judge G. Things are just getting good. Shields! Are you objecting to my adjourning this session? No. Would have shot an objection if I wanted to do that. You do use, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Shields?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's just all take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone? Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? No, my bad. I just had a quick reset to make is all. As Simon Saint's lawyer, that is. Ah, yes. I had forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Shields. How could you? You're killing me here.
Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time.
Right you are, which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you worked a day in your life. And let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? Now, amusing, but what is there left to ask? I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Fiefs here has something more to tell us about the killer.
Do I?
Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans, we're all ears.
Many dogs.
Many dots.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing?
He's trying to coax Warden Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go to all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis.
She did? No way!
Blah blah. If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility.
And where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh?
Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
No. Saint can't not be the killer. That's not fair! I was all ready to prosecute him!
Prosecuting verb. I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, huh? Yeah?
Nice. Now Mr. DeBest has to go along with it too.
Gavel. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further?
Many dogs. Of course. How could I refuse this silver-tongued devil? Eddie that's not your name. I don't know why I just said that.
That's not my name, but it's okay. You can call me what you want, dearie. Would you like a piece of candy?
Oh, sure thing. Yes, get
Would you like a
house.
cookie?
No, I don't have cookies. That's Edgeworth. I got candy.
I don't want cookies from that droll man. I'll take the candy, please. Thank
Fine,
you.
I'll eat my own cookies.
Damn it.
You have such a way with words and judgment.
What am I?
No,
Oh no!
just doing my job, thief.
One sec.
Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all verity, darling. Do say you'll let me.
Yes, you wish. Court is unadjourned.
I can't believe he pulled that off, Mr. Shields.
Whew, me either. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I could do. Kay's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? Simon's dependent on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat here, and we can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles McSmiles. Show 'em what never rests spirit. I shall. Also, please never call me that nickname again.
Fabulous. Then let's get started, Miles McSmiles.
What did I just say?
Okay, I'll be right back. If my
Okay.
lines come up, have someone take over.
Okie doke.
Gracias.
I really don't think anyone could have done it, but that dreadful man, Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes? I did him the most terrible disservice.
Yes, you killed him.
No. I suppose you could put it that way.
Look, see, she confessed. Take her in, take her in.
No. If I weren't such a sorry excuse for a warden, this would never have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess.
Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I'm certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude. You think that man went to heaven? You clearly never met Mr. Knight. Okay. You do know because you read the letters. Knight has been kept in a holding cell while Mr. Canis was in the prison proper. What could possibly have happened between them when they were on opposite ends of the facility?
Prisons aren't as big as they seem, you know. All kinds of awful things can happen.
But Knight only arrived 2 days before he was murdered. I can't imagine anything significant happening in that short space of time.
Then you don't know Canis, my dear. He'd find a way, I'm sure of it.
What more can you tell us about these sordid details?
Well, we all know what Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think. Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in, anyway.
They must have some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted. You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight.
That's because I didn't, sweetie. And the victim was simply a fun target to that monster. Nothing more. I expect Canis used the chisel that was hidden in that chess set, don't you? Awful grisly business. Just imagine. The man probably didn't even have time to cry out.
I see. Thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail if you don't mind.
Oh, Mr. Etchworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day, Miles McSmiles.
I'm sorry, I'm taken. the face of the gayest man in the world.
Oh, there's a bot in your chat.
Kill him!
Kill him!
Bonk.
Yeah!
Got him. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course we can talk about them some more.
Didn't we prove that he didn't use the chisel? Four inches deep, sharp blade. Didn't we prove something about the chisel?
I think the chisel, it's not sharp, is it?
It is sharp. I don't know if it's... Because the bell was put on the chisel, but the bell was originally on Canis's knife. Because the knife was seized by the police during the arrest. So they must have been the one to put it on the chisel to frame Canis, but I don't know how to get to that logic.
Right.
Because we didn't prove... We know that it... I don't want them to talk about it. But, okay. I'm gonna press, but I have the hiccups. And which... Oh, darn it. And which chess set would that be precisely? Darn it, I have the hiccups.
Why, the one the victim brought in, sweetie. Do try to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, or so I'm led to believe. But the naughty boy stuck a chisel inside it. Can you imagine?
How does she know about the chisel in this chess set? Only a few people were supposed to know about that. After all, we only learned about it thanks to certain deductions we made. So how did she find out?
Of course, in the hands of a killer like Canis, even a chisel could serve as a deadly weapon.
So it needs to work for the... I'm just gonna press all these statements. You seem to have very strong feelings about Mr. Canis.
Well, of course I do. I told you what he said to me, and what an absolute menace he was to interrogate. He could slither out of anything, the snake.
He sounds as tough as a rock.
And that infuriating, self-satisfied look on his face when they took him back to his cell. Ugh, my blood boils just thinking about it.
So scary. I certainly don't blame her on that count. Okay. I'm gonna press that too. Surely you're not suggesting that the dog threw the body down the well.
I told you already, darling. Canis had more dogs than that beastly creature. Remember, he has pets on the outside too.
You mean he brought someone in from outside the prison to help him commit the crime?
Of course not, silly. How would they have made it through security? But he's the so-called fixer, no? Exercise that fabulous brain of yours a little. How hard would it be for him to recruit a dog on the inside? Or even plant one?
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
I shouldn't have drunk before coming to work today. Interesting. And does this dog have a name?
Well, if I knew that, my life would be so much easier now, wouldn't it? Anyway, it was just a little thought. You can ponder it in your own sweet time, darling.
She's a slippery one. I'm not going to be able to catch her with this line of questioning, it seems. Warden Lagarde's testimony is a little more than a house of cards. I need to push her on the right statement to bring it all tumbling down. Okay, so... I could technically present the correspondence letters here, you know? Because she was supposed to read them. So she knows that they did have a connection. Because she...
Is this something we've pressed yet, or?
Cause this, can I present the chess set? Because he, like, Edgeworth even made a comment that she wasn't supposed to know about it. So, should I present the chess set? Like, how did she know? And it was Mr. Knight's to begin with.
Yeah, I guess that begs the question: how would Canis have gotten
And
a hold of that?
right, exactly. Like, how did he get that chess set in the first place? Okay, good.
Ooh, let's go.
Warden Lagarde, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please. Call me Fifi. Or Sweetie Pie, if you prefer.
I do not prefer. No, please. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance.
Tee, aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here.
No.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't let her get inside your head.
You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel.
Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. This is entirely irrelevant and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it on him when he arrived.
What? I mean, of course, that when Mr. Saint came in, we...
You checked him? I find that hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. If you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it then and there?
Eek!
Judge Gavel, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set? I did not.
Money dots.
If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because it certainly shouldn't have been there when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Indeed, such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through. Precisely. These hiccups! Somebody scare me or something. I don't know. So Warden Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set?
Many dots.
Huh. If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit to you that...
Oh, hold it! Alright, darling. There's no need to rub it in. You got me, alright?
Hmm?
Many dots. I question Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set.
Why?
But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him.
One moment,
God, we're
Warden.
still on this?
Yeah, this is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? None, Your Honor.
Thank you, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise.
That's the thing with Courtney. Like, I know she thinks she's like a high and mighty Miss Person, but she also understands that like there is justice to be served, and when it needs to, she will assist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde, and please tell the truth this time. Her lies are starting to wear thin. This is my chance to expose her. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, see.
I question Knight.
See how the music is faster?
Yeah.
That's how you can tell.
I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand? I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away.
Interesting. The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate. So it's simply a conversation with a new detainee? That seems entirely above board.
Exactly, Verity, darling. I knew you'd understand.
Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? I suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination. All right. This one at the end, where she had a little chat.
Hold it!
How was he when you spoke with him?
Oh, he was so open and honest, darling.
Well, what?
That guy? Honest?
He was talking about one croissant and promoting a prawn. I suppose he must have been hungry.
He's talking about promoting a pawn, I think.
Yeah, and like en passant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
en
I tried
passant and
to.
promoting a pawn. Seems he spared no one of his obsession with chess.
Hold it!
If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today.
Hold it. You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? Oh, what would my motive have been, darling? I told you, I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal.
She really does hate Cadence. Warden Lagarde, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony. Never mind. You say you bear a grudge against only Canis. Is that correct?
No, I despise him. Coming into my prison thinking he could do whatever he wants. But he won't get away with it. I'll clip his wicked wings if it's the last thing I do. And that awful dog of his, it's a menace. Completely upended the peace and quiet of my home. I love that.
I know. She even hates his dog. Doesn't seem at first glance she didn't have much of a motive to kill Knight. But she hates Canis so much she probably hates anyone who has to do anything with him. Thinking about it from that angle, the key to breaking her testimony would surely reveal itself.
Oh, is Tina still on?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here.
No, you're good.
She likes to get to know all the peeps, huh? Pretty chummy prison warden, if you ask me.
Chummy? She killed the man, detective. Poor guy would have been in cuffs, not to mention the neck brace. He was defenseless. Warden Lagarde was the murderer. The evidence points to that conclusion and no other. Okay, I think I need to press the I need to present the last one with the correspondence chess, I think. Knight had nothing to do with that animal is incorrect because he was correspondence chess with him. Judge Gavel, I'd like you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess? What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too.
Hold it. What do you mean?
I object. Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security.
Many dots.
I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option.
She wants to find out who his cronies are, right?
Personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were.
And so what if I did?
You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess.
Oh!
And then who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men, and it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman sent to kill you. Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronxter. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. For there inside his chess set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself. As far as you were concerned, the chisel meant one thing: Canis. Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis, and that is why you killed him.
Many dots.
I see you have no more excuses. Judge Gavel, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt.
Please, let this be it.
Oh no. I hereby give my verdict: Bronco Knight was killed by... In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden?
It's a joke. It's all a big stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you?
I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly.
Me? Please, darling. I understand it all perfectly well, thank you very much. And I understand that there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict. I'm curious to hear what the warden has to say. What?
You're a doll, Verity. I just have one last thing to say. That Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself the winner.
You rang?
That's not your name.
He doesn't know.
Does anybody remember a certain autopsy report?
Of course. We received the finalized version only this morning. As per usual.
That's right. That's right. And I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was.
Thank you.
I got your back, girl. You said the wound was 4 inches deep.
4 inches? Wait.
Riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound?
No! Forgive me, O goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake.
Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold much water, Edgeworth. What now,
What do we do?
It'll be fine. Mr. Edgeworth always comes through, right, sir?
Looks to me like Milesatron's out of commission. I'm running out of nicknames.
You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Turn things on their head like a... Okay, I don't even...
That's
losing
okay.
my voice here.
That's okay.
Okay, blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you.
Look, Detective, as much of a man of action as the next guy. But without evidence, we're up a creek without a paddle here. This might be the end of the road.
We can't give up now. We have to do something.
Oh! I'm certain that Warden Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there in this facility? It seems we still don't have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those answers. Aye, we do! It's fine, I have a bell! Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Ooh! Oh, come on, G. We're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Overruled.
Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Shields? Eep. Nope, not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas? What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? Confound it! This question throws everything we've deduced out the window. Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth? Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties. That's a lot of dots. Oh my gosh.
That's a record.
It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time. Loath as I am to admit it, Question mark?
Hold it! You can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Shield said. Simon's counting on us. Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated.
Meh.
Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death.
Hello, chat. Is Edgeworth actually gay? I mean, Google
Yes.
will answer that for you, but he does have complicated feelings for Phoenix Wright. That is canon.
And we have a short to prove it.
There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news.
Good news is you didn't kill him. Bad news is you're still going to jail.
And I, backwards. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some.
Hey. Gee, Miles, your little buddy here's quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his client. And you're just like him, right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who find it. Simon's counting on you. That's right, I have to do like that man does. Judge Gavel, you seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You've repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor. And I have told you time and time again that I don't care. And relieve you of your badge for good. She's right. I have put forward a number of theories that prove to be flawed in one way or another. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversight? Wait. She said my theories were misguided. Nothing to say? Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby...
Sir! Fuck. why
Mr.
was that so
Edgeworth!
loud?
That's okay. Give my verdict. That's it. I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time. My theories weren't misguided. I was being misled. The defendant, Simon St. She's like, how many times are you going to interrupt me? I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor.
I'd say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity?
Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed.
What?
I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of this dog, Helmut, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first. This again, Mr. Edgeworth? You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, your purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That is how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is the murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? To get Canis transferred. Warden, you took advantage of that chisel seemed to suggest.
What it suggested? What are you talking about, darling?
Mr. DeBest, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think?
Huh? That Mr. Canis is the killer?
Good job! Would you like a cookie?
I'm allergic.
Then good, have one. And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us.
Oh, Mr. Canis had a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right?
Indeed. That was her plan right from the start. To frame Bodehammer Canis. Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagarde certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Canis. However, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is the killer. I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here. I have a bell. If we could just find the real murder weapon...
Objection!
What?
How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom.
Sebastian is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid we're at a bit of an impasse.
Damn right.
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because they're still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that.
The security gate.
Huh, I'm glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does?
Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal, right?
Cool, here's another cookie.
Again, I'm allergic.
Stuffs in his mouth.
Which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Wait, oh, I'm so stupid.
Also,
give me that cookie. I want to die.
Also, your grammar, which you means.
Yeah, just go with it.
Precisely. If there's another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises. But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find yourselves right back where we began. Judge Gavel, what am I trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth? Is that if you wish me to believe that there's another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here. All right, we know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chess set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in. Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route? Ugh. How did the weapon Warden Lagarde use get into the prison? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, that's how. The fact is that here with us shows how... Wait. The fact that this is here with us shows that a bladed object has been brought into facility as well as the bell. Allow me to remind you of your conversation with Mr. Canis yesterday. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, yes, we were there. Okay. So you see, there's a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized. What a word. As part of the evidence Warden Lagarde borrowed from the police.
What?
Mr. Canis' knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel. Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel.
But that can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it.
I mean, the warden can wear gloves. Easily enough to explain if the killer wore gloves, that's what I just said. She made it look as if the chisel was the murder weapon and then attached the bell to it. In doing so, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis. And who had access to the evidence from the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted.
Who is... Oh, hold on. I got a ping.
That's okay.
Thank God. Okay. Who is it, sir? Who'd been messing with the evidence?
I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde?
Oh, but bells aren't exactly rare, you know. Anybody could have set that up.
Unluckily for you, this isn't quite true. This particular bells are unique, because there are only 2 of them in existence.
Ooh. What?
By attaching the bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer.
Hold it. But you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with.
I just explained that! I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Debes, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. I didn't... Mike fell again.
That's okay.
Huh? But if you do find something, that's gonna make things awkward for me.
This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but, you know, I'm not the best.
This worthless excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it.
Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it.
You little jerk. You know full well she would do no such thing. You had the power to insist on a search. Use it.
Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence.
The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. Oh, get her. No. If we give Lagarde the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left. I have to object. I have to stop them. But what do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. Must be that man rubbing off on me. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint, and that means... even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Nah, you know what? I don't feel like objecting. Nah, he can go to jail. It's fine. I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Regardless, I cannot walk away. Wait, Your Honor. This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got it. Got what exactly? The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Canis's knife is.
Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. I do. Not at all. If I did not know any better, I'd say you were bluffing. Ha! You wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. Ugh, this is terrible for my heart.
There's no way you could... It's not here, I tell you.
Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon? Think, Miles, think. Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in this zoo. A hiding spot that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place. No! Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection can there be? Mr. Edgeworth, How long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right, but if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Oh well. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden. It's in the yard. Here? In the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more? Where exactly is the murder weapon hidden? Whee! Okay, there it goes. Hiya! Of course. That's what it must have been. Metal detector. Yeah. The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel?
Didn't we just figure out that it isn't the murder weapon?
You might recall that Mr. Canis hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way?
Many dots.
That's right. The murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in the pond over there.
What?
No way!
We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gavel, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Understood. Then we'll need to summon a veterinarian. DeBest, would you mind going to investigate that alligator's stomach?
Wait, me? Me? I could be bitten.
Good. I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try. Please, by all means. Warden Lagarde, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess?
I have nothing to confess.
As you wish. Then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed.
Oh, sir, we got it.
I'm like, sure.
That has to be it.
It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon was Bodyhammer Canis' knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. Here it is. Here it is.
Here we go.
One of the best ones in the game.
I'm not the criminal here. This is all Canis is doing. I did the right thing. Knight was a threat. He was Canis' lapdog.
I'm not. It's
That's
automatic.
despicable, man. Oh, I know. Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on Earth. He ruined everything. Curse him. Curse that pitiless butcher, that awful, terrible, despicable man. Curse him.
This is one of my favorite breakdowns in the game.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's so cute.
Oh, right. They're all.
Yeah, they're all foxes.
That's so cool.
Yay, we did it!
Woo! Finally! It took us not even 3 hours.
After 6 hours.
Prosecutor DeBest, sir. The test results have just come back.
The best. I guess we've all been under a lot of stress.
Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Canis' knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory.
Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like, but I will have to deduct your pay if you don't.
Yes, sir. The best wins again. I think I'm welling up a little. Fuck.
With rage. Excellent work, Sebastian. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done.
Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I?
We have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis. It'll be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusion on that front.
Huh? Huh?
Are you paying attention?
No, I was daydreaming.
There's Clueless, and then there's you.
Well, Then I guess we better get back to our investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the best, be the best a whole lot more.
Yeah, good
I don't know
job.
what that means.
Yeah, that was good.
Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action.
Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir. Can't wait to watch you at work.
It's best in time.
Best in time. Look at him
Yeah!
go. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. Question mark? The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now this would-be assassin has been murdered. But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place. The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth. In the eyes of both society and the law.
How can you even say that?
You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe. We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences.
What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his...
Nice cookies.
I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, at least your badge is safe.
For now. But she took my cookies. Judge Gavel is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience?
Simon!
Simon, you're out!
Hi, Regina.
Is everything alright? They did let you out, right?
Yeah. But I'm so confused about what's going on.
Me too.
Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank.
You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is.
Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not for you, for the monkey.
Oh, no. Stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the rug out from under me now.
I love that he does the, like, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, like, with his animations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it, silly! It's true, he saved you. So say thanks already.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you.
And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me too. Mr. Saint talking directly to me. Small victories, I suppose.
Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney?
Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though.
I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now...
Oh.
But now...
Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he?
That's not true, Simon.
Oh.
Oh.
Can you repeat the last part?
Yeah, my bad. That's not true, Simon. Of course he trusted you.
No, he didn't. If he just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps. That he had to let go of all that stuff.
Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. I should show him the thing that proves Knight trusted him. Bah. Was it the chess set?
Maybe? Like the one the pocket one?
Yeah. Because he asked him to bring it?
Take that!
It's the chess set I brought for him.
Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape.
What? You mean he was using me?
No, he believed in you. He believed he could use you. He knew he could count on you to bring it, and that he would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he's hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in this mess.
Many dots. Oh. Bronco! Why didn't you tell me?
At least you understand now, right, Simon?
I'm sure he does. He may not show it, but Simon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. Regina.
His friend died. I don't know if
Right, I was
one
like-
night's gonna solve it.
That's not as complimentary as you think it is.
Sniffle, sniffle. I'll try. I have to. For Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal trainer out there.
That's the spirit.
Aww.
So weird.
Oh, I almost forgot. We're, doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yay!
Woo!
Oh, I love that.
Tim!
I love that man.
Oh, sick.
Yeah!
I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right. The Big Berry Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go.
Well, I'll think about it. All right, Simon. We've got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent got acquainted.
What? Regent the Tiger? No way, I can't. No.
Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat.
I can't. Please, Regina, anything but that, please.
Well, he's dead. Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. I couldn't have done it without you, Shields. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush. Or topple over. I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously. Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all. To be an attorney. Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing right beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good? Bittersweet? I'm not sure. Say, Miles, have you ever thought about going into the defense game full time? I did when I was tiny, and then my dad was murdered in an elevator, and I decided not to. Excuse me? You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. I'm helping people in my own way.
Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides.
Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days.
Come on, Mr. Shields, you know it's not about that.
Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question.
No, you weren't.
The heck you were. Fuck you.
Hey, calm down, man. You want a piece of candy? Looks like you got a mean defense team yourself, Miles. Shields, I'm a prosecutor. Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Ooh. Well, I've said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. Ciao.
Alright, bye. Asshat.
Follow in my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing? I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. That's what he sounded like. An attorney like my father. Me? But who would be my rival? He would have to become a prosecutor. Yay! We did it!
achievement.
Oh my gosh! Chapter 3! We did it.
Yay!
Yay! Turnabout Legacy. Is this where we go back in time?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a
that's
fun
my
one.
favorite one. All right, but
Do we save it though?
oh yes, yeah. We're not doing any more today. It is already like 7:30. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours already.
Oh man.
But yes. So we're going to end it there. Yeah! Oh, I'm so excited. I love this one so much.